Sour Patch Kids are a brand of soft candy coated in a sour sugar dust. Initially released under the name Mars Men in the early 1970s, Sour Patch Kids have exploded in popularity in the 21st century. In 1985, Mars Men were rebranded to Sour Patch Kids in order to capitalize on the popularity of the Cabbage Patch Kids, the most popular toy of the mid-1980s. Both the candy and the branding have seen major changes since their inception in the 1970s. The brand's first mascot was a young blonde boy sticking his tongue out as a reaction to the candy's sour taste. Starting in 2009, the titular Sour Patch Kids would serve as their own candy's mascot. The candy and its marketing is also known for its tagline, sour, sweet, gone. The way in which all candy is advertised in America has changed greatly. Within this candy ad from 1922, we can see that candy is being marketed as wholesome and nutritious. By the early 1990s, candy advertisements had shifted to be less conventional. Ads at this time were typically abstract, with a more rebellious nature. Candy companies were pushing hard to have their products be seen as both fun and wacky. This infamous Gushers ad from 1995 is a great example of how these companies wanted to market their products.
Introducing new Fruitomic Punch Gushers with a taste that's gonna drive you fruity. It's very, very different and totally appealing. It's new Fruitomic Punch Gushers, the fruit snack bursting the juicy fruit punch in the middle. So fruity, they'll really turn your head.
Whoa, I'll say.
New Fruitomic Punch Gushers. The blast of fruit punch is gonna drive you totally fruity.
Man, I gotta split.
This commercial routinely shows up on lists of strange ads from the 90s. Relatively tame compared to some of the Sour Patch Kids commercials we're going to take a look at, it's important to understand how candy companies were doing anything in order to leave an impact on consumers. This is the atmosphere in which Sour Patch Kids would debut their iconic series of ads in the early 2000s.
First they're sour, then they're sweet.
It's okay.
Sour Patch Kids, sour, sweet, gone.
Commercials from this campaign follow a uniform format. First, the Sour Patch Kids are shown doing something or having just done something to negatively impact a person. The candies are then shown either apologizing or performing a positive action in order to help whomever they had just wronged. The positive, reconciliatory actions usually pale in comparison with how much damage the candies just caused. Despite suffering through their torment, the candy's subjects are always shown to forgive the Sour Patch Kids and view them positively after their interaction. Whilst these ads might appear vapid and intentionally shocking at first, they deal with complex aspects of morality. The most obvious example of this is the candy's sense of remorse. The commercials show an exaggerated, satirical depiction of remorse in order to symbolize the candy's subsequent sweet taste. Remorse is an important facet of human morality. By definition, remorse is an emotion that can only be felt after one has committed an action that they deem to be wrong or unjust. Thus, remorse cannot be felt or expressed without having a moral sense of right and wrong. In addition to the absurdity of the events depicted, these commercials use the counterintuitive nature of apologies to create a humorous effect. From a simply logical standpoint, apologies and remorse can seem arbitrary and a small consolation to a victim of wrongdoing. However, apologies play a large role in human forgiveness. Forgiveness is not fully understood, but there seems to be an innate human desire to forgive those around us and see that forgiveness as a moral triumph.
First, they're sour. Then they're sweet.
Oh, thanks.
Sour Patch Kids. Sour, sweet, gone.
The dynamic of the Sour Patch Kids apologizing to their victim and that victim forgiving the candy is what allows the audience to come away from the commercial feeling positive. Although the depiction is hyperbolic, it still fits well into the framework of human morality. However, not all of the ads are able to be viewed so positively.
No. First, they're sour.
Are you crazy? That was a high score.
Hi.
Oh. Hi.
Then they're sweet. Sour Patch Kids. Sour, sweet, gone.
This example deals with much more complicated moral implications. This is the only example in which the usual dynamic is inverted. Here, the candy performs a relatively innocuous negative action before making up for it with a much more extreme positive action. Part of what makes this ad so disturbing is its ambiguity. A woman being directed to have sex with someone by the candy, out of context, sounds like a poor marketing strategy. The scene raises disturbing questions, like whether being pushed to have sex with this man is the candy's sour action for the woman. Ironically, the candy's advertising is just as sweet and sour as the candy itself. Some of the ads are jovial, with a playful tone. Others, however, are much darker. Perhaps the most profound parallel between the commercials and human morality is the most simple. As individuals, we all have the potential to be both sweet and sour. Throughout history, people have been remembered for the extraordinarily positive and the extraordinarily negative actions that they have taken. This natural duality of man is what allows the commercials to seem so relatable and humorous.